It's movie time with John DeSando and his friends online. So everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom. He's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a spectacle. From San Francisco
It's
to
Movie Time
London.
is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to broadcast shows Fridays at 4:01 and 8:01 p.m. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando,
And I'm Gary Hammond.
and this is It's Movie Time.
And it is.
It is. Now, Gary, I have a big weekend this weekend with my two films. They're both children horror films.
Are you regressing, John?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how the shows go. But the other one is called Weapons, but this one is called Sketch.
And these are not comedy sketches.
Boy, there is some comedy. It's strange.
There
to
is,
say,
yeah.
There is comedy there. But the one that we're discussing today is called Sketch. And it's about kids, and it's about fantasies, and it's about grief. And I'm thinking about you and your grandson Leo is just a bit younger than the kids in this.
He's
I
eight.
suspect
He's 8.
he's 8.
I'd say these are 10. No,
I'd
10
say 10.
is what I'd
Amber
say.
is probably around a 10.
Yeah.
However, I think Leo is precocious.
Yes.
So that if we were to call Leo a 10, it wouldn't be a bad thing to do, right?
On any scale. But the young lady in this movie,
Yes.
the lead, I think she's too young to see this movie myself. And I looked it up. It's PG. I didn't remember seeing it at the movie, but it's PG, and I'll go with that. That's fine.
Isn't it great? When I was a kid, my dad had all these prescription pads left that pharmacies used to give him.
Right.
And I used to sketch in them. But mostly I would sketch planes, trains, and automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Amber sketches some really pretty weird stuff.
It's revealed that she has suffered a trauma. She is no great artist, and it is revealed that she is communicating something unhappy, some sort of unhappiness.
Well,
So the
she
tape.
lost her mom.
Well, she lost her mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it's revealed that that's what she's doing, and she's not trying to do art. She's trying to express herself, and she's pretty mad, or pretty hurt, or pretty something. And the drawings are not great art, as I said, but there's some ugly-looking monsters there, which is significant to the story.
Yeah, and she has a brother who's going through this grief process, as well as a father played by
Also grieving.
very well by Tony Hale,
Right.
underplaying that grieving dad.
I didn't warm up to him in the beginning.
But I know you won't, because he's underplaying it.
Yeah, and that was how he was dealing with it.
Yeah.
And the boys seemed to be, it was ambiguous what his status was, except that mom was gone.
Yeah, much less outgoing than Amber.
Yeah,
And Amber, I predict, what a lovely little child.
great thing.
Very, wow. Yeah, just a lot of promise. But anyway, so she's sketching, and then by some magical moment of it hitting a magic pond,
Yes.
these illustrations come alive.
Well, yeah, I'd say they're in washable marker is what they must be in. And having grandchildren, I'm familiar with washable marker, and it works pretty well. And the sketchbook falls in the pond, and she retrieves it, and it's all runny, and the ink, the marker ink has gone into the pond, and the monsters come out.
You know, and I have to give it to Seth Warley, who is the writer-director, had done usually industrial stuff. This is really his debut in a mainstream movie, and I would say he's done a magnificent job.
Well, it's an Angel production.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
again,
Let's talk about that later.
Yeah.
Please, yes,
Good.
thank you.
good production value.
Wow. Anyway, so you had Warley manifesting the kids' frustration through these illustrations, and actually the brother, who's not less is much less aggressive than she, had discovered this little pond and thought that his mom's ashes possibly could be rehabilitated by putting him in the pond. He found that the pond was so magic. Not a good move.
Right.
But He's
But that was
curing
the
him.
plan.
Yeah.
If these creatures could come out, then maybe Mom can too.
Yeah, right. Now, there's an awful lot of other kids' movies that come out of this, and I know there are some references, or there's some relationship to movies such as Goonies,
I was thinking that's the only one that came to my mind, but I didn't research
and
it.
then Gremlins.
Okay.
Now, some of these I don't know. Goosebumps.
Yeah, I don't know
All
that.
right. And Where the Wild Things Are.
Love the book.
Yeah, okay, so you know that there's some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally, one that many in our audiences can identify with, Strange Things.
Yeah.
That's Stranger Things, rather,
Yeah.
I guess. And that's a TV phenomenon,
Right.
right? And so you get an idea of the fantasy, of her fantasies,
Mhm.
and how that works. And also, the town. How about the town? How does that work in this view?
It's so pastoral, rural,
It is.
and really there's, other than the cornfields, there's no memory of the town, really, in my mind, although I think it did place something in that. The school bus, they're going into school, and it's a real small town feel because the father is talking with the bus driver and getting some grace to talk with his daughter, and so on. That would be a small town thing. It's not a metropolitan.
Yeah, yeah. And how does this, how does Sketch become a kind of important film for us? You know, I mean, here you and I, two adults, seriously adults, talking about a movie that could be for kids. As you have pointed out, it's PG and anybody can see it. And I found it engaging. I mean, what's important about this thing?
Well, the production company is Angel, and I've found from the Angel movies Angel produced movies that I've seen with you, they have a message, and in this case it's a message about handling loss, about handling trauma, about how people deal with grief, and the father deals with it by taking away all the pictures of Mom, and concealing the fact that she ever existed. The daughter draws sketches, and the boy is just quietly distressed.
Now, you mentioned something that I found really interesting. That is, most of us would do exactly what Dad does. Take away all the remembrances of Mom so that it doesn't spark anything in the kids, which is counterintuitive to the movie itself, right? Because the movie stresses confronting,
Yes.
and yet... well, I mean,
Embracing, actually.
yeah, embracing.
She was part of our lives, and she's gone now, but she's still part of it. My mother-in-law passed away recently, and my 5-year-old granddaughter was standing at the gravesite, and there was a box with her ashes in it, and she said, "Where's Gigi?" And my wife said, "She's in there," pointing to the box, and she said, "She's in there?" And I reached my arms around her, because she was right in front of my legs, and I
Yeah.
patted her chest, and I said, "She's in here too, yeah."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so for me, the takeaway on that was, ordinarily as adults, we want to remove all the remembrances so the kid isn't traumatized by remembering, and yet the message of the movie, and Angel is very strong on its messages, even though it does a deft job
Yeah.
in not hitting you over the head with it, but that confronting your fears, and in this case your anxiety, anguish over the death of your mother.
respectfully, I think Angel doesn't hit you over the head with it. It's like getting a cream pie in the face. Is what it's like. If they want to make sure that it's okay. I mean, it's not like the Hulk where they say you won't like me when I'm angry 3 times, and then he appears. It's just once. But
and you're so right, because if you actually didn't get the message, it's going to spend several minutes at the end of the movie telling you what the message is.
well,
And in this case,
that's the hammer. Yeah, that is the hammer.
That
So
is-
you should stay. You should stay for that part.
But however, I do appreciate it, and I'll tell you in a few minutes, we'll talk a little bit about Angel, and I'll mention some of the films that I've really liked and we've seen of Angel Studios. But basically, I would never see a faith-based movie. I am not interested.
The Bible with Charlton Heston, or the 10 Commandments.
I would never, in its current lingo, see a faith-based movie. And yet I when the Sound of Freedom came years ago, and my son and I went, we were really moved by human trafficking.
Yeah.
And we were really moved at how well they did it, and to the extent that my son, when he retires, wants to join in the fight against human trafficking, particularly child trafficking. So they are goal driven, and they do have a real moral conscience. But how they do it has made me a believer in them. And so in sketch, Gary, in the end, what do we say about it as a movie for a family, for kids? You talk about PG, which is an invitation for everybody to go.
Yeah.
And I sense some reservation on your part in that advice.
No, I mean, if the film board decided that's what it is, it's not a general audience. I would say that because now, as I mentioned earlier, the John Wick movie, there were children there, and it was none of my business, but I thought, interesting. In terms of this, you're going to have to, parents are going to have to decide with respect to their kids, is this something that they want to have a conversation about, or is this something they want to expose them to and not have a conversation about? It may not be something that needs to be discussed. It may just be that the children will enjoy that. The message of the movie may go right over their heads as far as that goes, or they may get it, or they may understand it later. I can't articulate, what people should do with their own children, except not take them to John Wick when they're
they shouldn't do that. But there is also some pretty colorful graphics in this.
Oh, the graphics are great, and it's obviously CGI as far as that goes. And if you took a very rough sketch that you might have from your very young child on your refrigerator, in the first time they were given colors to do something, that's kind of the quality of the monsters in this movie.
It's not super CGI.
Right.
It's really it is fashioned for the way the kids might do it.
Yeah.
If they had access to CGI, this is what they would do.
Oh, I think the kids are running the CGI, John, don't you?
Yeah, they really are. In fact, the one iconic one here, the one with the big spindly legs. And
it was almost like a sunflower.
Yeah, and the googly eye.
Yeah.
And then they have these little spiders that constantly are there.
Yeah.
I think it's a really pretty.
And they can be squished. So the kids are fighting back. Yeah, and the kids, I just thought of that. These kids have power. They actually do have power. They have agency and they have power, and they're able to deal with this and take care of it. And that's probably the underlying strongest message of all that I didn't get until just now when I realized it, because they need to go through this grief. They were capable of battling these monsters, and they're going to be capable of surviving and getting through the death of their mother.
And I think that the father, particularly played by Tony Hale, I think he does a great job of backing away from maneuvering the kids.
Yeah.
And letting them get through their grief in the best way that he can. As he begins to realize these monsters are true and real, he also realizes that he's not there to force them to relieve their grief. He's there to facilitate.
You can't.
No, you can't. But I think a lot of people.
You have to confront it, and it's like most things that we have to go through. We just have to go through them.
All right.
John DeSando and his friends online, so everything is gonna be just fine. From the top down to the bottom, he's gonna let you know if you should stay home or if you should go. Might even yell if it's a